It seems like anytime there's geopolitical tension, oil prices do rise, especially in the Middle East. But the last time we saw the bombing of Saudi oil facilities, oil prices quickly corrected to the downside. What happens this time around?
Well, I think you've got to look into the past, and I think everyone was in agreement after Abqaiq, which was described as the Achilles heel of the global oil industry. The increase in prices wasn't as severe as some had feared. If you go back kind of 15 years to OPEC, you talk to oil ministers and they talk about a $25 a barrel premium, risk premium in the oil price. And this was a time when, around 2005, 2006, a much more secure era in the oil market in the region. And we're not just seeing that now. We've gone up about $5 really, from around $65 a barrel, trading today around 70. S&P Global Platts Analytics believes that the price will actually come back down below 70 unless we get more uncertainty out of the region, more attacks. But then that could only be brief. I think one of your guests earlier did say that that's just going to stoke demand if you do have oil prices above $70 a barrel. And I think the question is really around OPEC. What does OPEC do next? OPEC's meeting in March. They agreed deeper cuts at their last meeting. I think it's going to be very difficult for them going forward to lock people into these cuts for the rest of the year. If you're a marginal OPEC producer, one of the African nations, you've got higher production costs. You're looking at $70 a barrel at the moment, and you're thinking, let's rub our hands, let's pump every barrel we can. So it's going to become very hard for the Gulf core states around Saudi Arabia to hold that cuts agreement in place. We've already seen Russia wants out. I think more will follow.
All right, Andy, let's talk about whether or not Iran will actually use oil as a weapon in this case here. Is it to their benefit to crank the spigots off?
The people I've spoken to say no. The people I've spoken to in the region, experts around Iran who've been looking at this situation for in some cases 40 years, believe that's not the case. I spoke to Qatar's former energy minister and former OPEC president, Abdullah bin Hamad Al Attiyah, over the weekend. He thinks oil won't be targeted. He thinks oil supply from the region will continue. And he went to his first OPEC meeting in 1972, and he said that in his career, very rarely has actually oil for a prolonged period of time been disrupted out of the region. He could only name a couple of occasions, and these were huge flashpoints, major wars. All the indications from the Iranian regime seem to be that the target is actually American assets, whether that's military or other types of installations. Will they actually go for oil? Will they want to internationalize this conflict, escalate it to a global scale? That's a very big bet to make.